News at 5.
The hotbeds of summer. As temperatures rise, what parents need to know about keeping their kids from overheating in strollers.
The University of Texas student government taking action. What changes it's pushing in the wake of that deadly stabbing. Plus,
went in to pull these firefighters out. Some of the most heroic firefighting I've ever seen.
A deadly 4-alarm fire. Tonight, the San Antonio Fire Department mourning the loss of one of its own.
hi everybody, I'm Mike Rush in the Weather Center with Chief Meteorologist Albert Ramon, because we're not expecting a very nice looking weekend this weekend. Rain.
At least the first half of the weekend. It looks like some of the new data, Sunday is going to be salvageable. Saturday looks to be pretty soggy. Out there right now, though, if you have some plans late this afternoon, early evening, things are fine. We've got some clouds building in out towards the west. Just north of us, though, if you're doing some traveling, know that the San Angelo and Abilene area under a tornado watch until 8 o'clock. The Dallas-Fort Worth area also under a tornado watch. Their watch until 11 p.m. An active tornado warning right now south of Abilene. These thunderstorms are firing along a frontal boundary. It's still out in West Texas. We're going to keep an eye on some showers and storms to impact the hill country later this evening. But overall, tomorrow looks to be a better chance of showers and storms as that same frontal boundary moves into central Texas, with even some lingering rain showers as we head towards Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. We'll get into your full forecast, show you when we're expecting the heaviest activity to move in on Saturday coming up.
Okay, see you then. Thanks, Albert. And like you just mentioned, the humidity out there, the heat index in the mid-90s. We know kids get too hot in cars, but there's another place some parents may not consider: strollers. KVUE's Amber Downing joins us now live. Amber, I think this is interesting because a lot of us think we're doing the right thing.
Right, you think maybe you're blocking your child from the sun, but we did 3 experiments using this temperature and humidity gauge and put it in the stroller. We covered it 3 different ways to see which way's hottest and which way's the coolest.
With a base outside temperature of about 90 degrees, we did 3 one-minute tests. For our first test, we put the thermometer inside the stroller with a partial top cover. The temperature went up 4 degrees in 1 minute. Next, we tested the built-in full cover with ventilation. After 1 minute, the temperature jumped from 90 to nearly 97 degrees inside. In the last part of our experiment, we tested a light bamboo blanket covering the stroller. And after 60 seconds, the temperature inside was 96 degrees. The least hot version turned out to be a partial top cover, allowing maximum ventilation. Pediatrician Dr. Michael Holmes says all of those temperatures could be too hot for your kid.
2 and under, I'd say try not to have them out in direct sunlight, especially if it's over 90 degrees. The ballpark is, especially here in Austin, they usually say from 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon.
Dr. Holmes says your kid will show signs if he or she is overheated.
So you look for sweating, you look for fussiness, poor feeding, listlessness is decreased activity or lethargy. And you just look, fussiness is mainly the key that we look for.
And common sense should always rule.
I generally say if you're uncomfortable, your baby's probably uncomfortable as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet. Now, I talked with some moms who do stroller classes with their kids almost every morning. It's a little cooler then, but they've got some tricks. So there are shirts with SPF in them that help protect against the sun, and they breathe a little better. There are little fans that are toddler finger-proof that you can put inside the stroller. And then there's good old-fashioned shade. In North Austin, Amber Downing, KVUE News.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks, Amber. New at 5, the University of Texas student government has created a list of action items to improve emergency communication. It stems from the deadly stabbing on campus on May 1st. A few things the plans address are changing the text message alert policy, improving protocol for addressing rumors in a crisis, and informing parents more rapidly. The action items are all aimed at speeding up the process of notification to students, parents, and faculty. Earlier this month, police say Kendricks White attacked students on the UT campus. Freshman student Harrison Brown was killed, and 3 other students were injured. Coming up tonight at 6, we talked to a member of the student government about their plans to improve the university's process during an emergency.
Now to that deadly crash in the heart of Times Square. New York police using surveillance video to piece together what happened yesterday. The suspect behind the wheel, Richard Rojas, appeared in court this morning. Police say he deliberately pulled a U-turn in Times Square and started plowing down pedestrians.
He waited for those cars to pass, and he accelerated, striking down these pedestrians. That goes to his state of mind and his motivation. He actually goes underneath a scaffold. Parts of his car, the side view mirror, license plates are falling off as he's striking these pedestrians. People are being dragged. They're on top of the car.
18-year-old Alyssa Ellman died. Her 13-year-old sister now in the hospital with a collapsed lung. 7 victims are also in the hospital tonight. The next step, detectives will search the home of Richard Rojas and talk to his family, looking for clues about why he would do this.
Turning to that deadly fire in San Antonio now, 83 units responded to that massive 4-alarm fire. 1 firefighter was killed, 2 others injured. Tonight, the department is mourning the loss of the 6-year veteran, Scott Deem.
Mayday, who's calling the Mayday? Be advised, we have firefighter 1 and firefighter 2 that are inside that we do not know where they're at.
We had to make a decision that we were going to go defensive. One of the most difficult decisions of my life, and no regrets for doing that.
1 firefighter that's being pulled out over to EMS right now.
Scott Deem was removed from the structure, surrounded by his fellow firefighters. We gave him the dignity that he deserves. We brought him out to a line of firefighters. A lot of them work with this kid. We lined up, we brought his body out, draped in the flag from Station 35, and loaded him up for escort to the coroner's office. We will celebrate Scott Deem in a manner that is only befitting a hero in this city.
No word yet on what caused that fire. As for the other 2 injured, 1 has been released from the hospital. The other is in critical condition tonight.
Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein was on Capitol Hill for the 2nd straight day. This time, Rosenstein briefed House members on the memo he signed concerning ousted FBI Director James Comey and his decision to appoint a special counsel to the Russia investigation. Lawmakers for the first part seemed pleased with what they heard about how the investigation will proceed.
The definition of fair will not be a Republican definition. They won't like it. A Democratic definition, at times they won't like it. And the president, at times, will be frustrated. But, you know, again, this is about public confidence.
Some House members, mostly Democrats, said they were frustrated that Rosenstein didn't give a clear answer about why he wrote the memo initially cited as justification for President Trump's firing of Comey. The special counsel, former FBI Director Robert Mueller, is already on the job.
It's taken a lot of wheeling and dealing, but a bill to ban texting while driving statewide is one step closer to becoming law. Texas senators approved House Bill 62 today. This marks the 4th session lawmakers have tried to pass this bill. It bans handheld texting while driving, but it does allow drivers to use GPS and their music apps from their phones. And the bill preempts city ordinances. So if it becomes law, Austin drivers can use their phones for GPS and music while driving, but the city's hands-free rule to all other phone use still applies. The bill now goes back to the representative who authored it for review. If he accepts the changes, the bill will head to the governor to be signed. Del Seton Medical Center at the University of Texas will open this Sunday, but before it does, here are the road closures that you need to be aware of. Starting midnight on Sunday morning, Red River Street will close from MLK Boulevard to Health South Rehab Hospital and Brick Oven Restaurant. 15th Street will close from I-35 to Trinity Street. All roads will reopen at midnight Monday morning. Staffers say emergency care will stay open during these closures.
We're going to have full coverage of that, too. It's kind of interesting how they're going to move all the patients.
Absolutely, right. So some good news to share with you about a story we told you first on KVUE News Night Beat.
Take a look at these pictures. Last night we showed you this sweet dog named Thompson. Well, look at this. He'd been in the Pflugerville shelter since the Memorial Day floods in 2015. Yeah, 2 years. Well, he now has a permanent home. Right there you can see he's with his new family. And they are already
that's a loving family,
awesome?
too.
Okay, I have to tell you a funny little thing, though.
Yeah.
Mom said, do you see the little cotton.
Yeah, did he tear something up, a pillow or something?
He had a little bit of fun with some of the stuffed animals apparently in the house.
Yeah, that happens.
Fitting right in, yeah. Okay, still ahead, an expert haggler shares his secrets. What he does to save hundreds of dollars that you could do too.
Plus, former Congressman Anthony Weiner back in court. His punishment for an inappropriate relationship with an underage girl.
You're watching KVUE, where trust is earned.